Okay, so in this video we will start from seizure disorder and epilepsy in children from Marrow 6th edition. It's just a recap. Definition: seizure is abnormal paroxysmal electrical discharge from the neurons. Fine. We have to remember this definition. It's a very simple and basic definition that it is an abnormal paroxysmal electrical discharge from the neurons. So due to that there is abnormal motor or the sensory and behavioral autonomic manifestations. Fine. Due to this electrical discharge, abnormal electrical discharge, there are these abnormal motor or sensory or behavioral or even autonomic manifestation. It is detected by EEG. Now coming to the term epilepsy. Epilepsy, its definition is recurrent seizures, two or more than two episodes, 24 hours apart, then we call it epilepsy. Fine. Two or more than two episodes, but how much? 24 hours apart. Okay. Most common cause in neonates is hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. Fine. If the seizures are occurring in neonates, if the recurrent seizure, then it's called epilepsy. So most common cause in neonates is hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. Most common cause in the older children is febrile seizures. Most common type in neonate is subtle, that is minimal features with the eye blinking or deviation or the chewing movements. Okay, most common type in neonates, and most common type in the older children is GTCS, that is generalized tonic-clonic seizures. Fine. So this in older children, GTCS are the most common. So what we read in neonates, most common cause is HIE, that is hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. In older children, most common cause are febrile seizure. Most common type in neonate are subtle one, and the most common type in the older children are the GTCS. Now first talking about the febrile seizures. As per the Association of Child Neurology definition, these are the points that need to be fulfilled for us to call the febrile seizure. Condition with the fever and seizure in the age group of 6 months to 6 years. Okay, we define this term febrile seizure in the age group of only 6 months to 6 years. And there should be a fever of temperature of about temperature 101 degree Fahrenheit. Without the evidence of CNS infection, electrolyte or metabolic abnormalities. So there should not be any CNS infection, electrolyte abnormalities, and metabolic abnormalities also. There should be no history of preceding trauma or afebrile seizures. That means seizure is occurring even without fever. So all these four conditions needs to be fulfilled for us to call it febrile seizures. What's age group, temperature, no other metabolic abnormalities or electrolyte or CNS infection, and no seizures without any fever. Now coming to the types of febrile seizures. There are two types of febrile seizures. One is simple febrile seizure, other one is the complex febrile seizure. Simple febrile seizures are generalized tonic-clonic seizures. They last for less than 15 minutes and they does not recur within 24 hours. So this is the criteria for us to call a seizure, febrile seizure, simple. What is the main thing? It is generalized tonic-clonic seizure lasting for less than 15 minutes and it does not reoccur within 24 hours. This is very important to remember. Now the complex febrile seizure, any of the following if present, then we call the febrile seizure as complex febrile seizure. If it is a focal seizure, that is any particular part or any particular half of the body is being involved, then it is called as the focal seizure. Any seizure, febrile seizure lasting for more than 15 minutes, then it is called as the complex seizure. And if any febrile seizure reoccurs within 24 hours, then it is called as the complex febrile seizure. Okay, now there are some other definitions that we should know. First one is the febrile status epilepticus. Seizure lasting for more than 30 minutes is called as the febrile status epilepticus. There is something called as the febrile seizure plus, that is seizure occurring after age of 6 years or afebrile seizures. Fine, this is called as the febrile seizure plus. We saw the age group, right? It was up till 6 years of age. But if it is occurring after 6 years, then it is febrile seizure plus, or there are afebrile seizures. And there is something called as the GEFS, that is generalized epilepsy with febrile seizure. Autosomal dominant inheritance, so family history of epilepsy with the FS or FS plus is present. Okay. Moving ahead for the investigations of febrile seizure. In simple febrile seizure, investigations are not needed, and the following investigations are needed. That is, these investigations are needed for complex one, and some of them are simple, like hypoglycemia can be checked also. Let's start with the investigations which are needed. First one is the CBC. In complex febrile seizure or febrile status epilepticus, blood sugar or the calcium estimation needs to be done. There should be serum electrolyte and the urine analysis only if less than 18 months without a focus of infection. MRI in complex febrile seizure and febrile status epilepticus, an MRI should be done within 72 hours of the onset of seizure, and EEG in complex febrile seizure should be done within 1 week of the onset of seizure. Fine. MRI within 72 hours and EEG within 1 week, and lumbar puncture done if there is a suspicion of meningitis. So these are the investigations which we can do in case of complex febrile seizure and febrile status epilepticus. Moving ahead, a child less than 12 months of age who are unvaccinated for Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae type B. One second. Okay, so this is lumbar puncture continued, right? It is done in suspicion of meningitis, and this is now continuation of that. In child less than 12 months of age who are unvaccinated for Streptococcus and Haemophilus influenza type B, and in child more than 12 months of age with pre-treatment with antibiotics. Any age group with suspicion of meningitis or in febrile status epilepticus. Now coming to the treatment of febrile seizure, first one is to control the fever, second one is to control the seizures. So for controlling the fever, we are supposed to give antipyretics, paracetamol in the dose of 10 to 15 mg per kg per dose every 6th hourly, and tepid sponging needs to be done. Now for controlling the seizure, if it lasts for more than 5 minutes, anti-epileptics are mandatory. Intravenous benzodiazepines, that is lorazepam and midazolam in the dose of 0.1 mg per kg, and there are some certain alternate routes in hospital, intranasal midazolam, and in community setup for rectal diazepam. Fine. Okay, and for controlling the seizure, we have to give intravenous benzodiazepines, and when we have to give after 5 minutes of seizure. Okay, if it is lasting more than 5 minutes, then only we have to give, and first line is the benzodiazepines. It can be either lorazepam or midazolam. Alternate routes in hospital, intranasal midazolam, and in community setup for rectal diazepam can also be given. For the prophylaxis and for the prevention of recurrence, intermittent prophylaxis, there is something called, which is oral clobazam, which is given in 1 mg per kg per day for the first 3 days of fever. Fine. After the first episode of febrile seizure, oral clobazam is given for 1 mg per kg per day, and alternate is diazepam also. Indications for this intermittent prophylaxis is recurrent febrile seizure, 3 or more episodes in 6 months, or 4 or more episodes in 1 year. Then we have to give this intermittent prophylaxis. There is parental anxiety or the residence is far from the medical facility. In this case, we have to give this oral clobazam. Now coming to something called as the first we did was intermittent prophylaxis, and then there is something called continuous prophylaxis. There is daily usage of sodium valproate in this continuous prophylaxis. Duration is 2 years of seizure-free period before stopping this medication. Okay. Indications for the continuous prophylaxis are febrile status epilepticus, frequent complex febrile seizures with the neurodevelopmental delay, and febrile seizure plus or the generalized epilepsy with febrile seizures. So if these things are happening, no, then we have to give continuous prophylaxis. And what is used for that? Sodium valproate. Now coming to the types of seizure. First we are going to read about is the absence seizure. First we read about the febrile seizure. Now we are going to read about the absence seizures. They are also called as the petit mal seizures. Absence seizures are usually defined for children more than 5 years of age, and the usual onset is 5 to 8 years. Features at the time of seizure is there are vacant stares, there is unresponsiveness, there is eye flutter, which lasts for few seconds, up to 30 seconds, but clinically seen up to 10 seconds. Okay. So these are the features that will be seen at the time of seizure. Fine, vacant stares. Child will be staring completely out of mind and not remembering what's happening around for a few seconds. Child will be unresponsive. There will be eye flutters may be present, and it lasts for up to few seconds, up to 30 seconds, but 10 seconds usually. There are certain precipitating factors for this. There is hyperventilation and stress or emotional problems. And for the diagnosis, EEG is done, that is 3 Hz spike and wave pattern. Usually hyperventilation is done before EEG because we want to see what happens during the seizure, no? So we elicit the seizure by this hyperventilation, and then we do the EEG to find the abnormal waves on EEG. Fine, and what will be seen on EEG? There will be 3 Hz spike and wave pattern. Treatment for the absent seizures is again sodium valproate, and alternate that could be used is lamotrigine. There's something called as the atypical absent seizures also. Okay, what happens in this? There is myoclonic seizure component present. Okay, absent seizure there was no myoclonic or tonic component present, but in atypical absent seizure there is myoclonic element also present, and the EEG characteristics of 1 to 2 hertz spike and wave pattern, and treatment is again with the sodium valproate. So we read about absent seizures. Now we are going to read about the juvenile myoclonic epilepsy (JME), also called as the Janz syndrome. Typical age group affected is the adolescent. Age of onset is 12 to 18 years, mostly continues into adulthood, and it has polygenic inheritance. There is certain genetic association like polygenic inheritance, as we discussed, with the CLCN2 related to chloride channels, CACNB4, calcium channel and calcium sensing receptors, GBRA1, and myoclonin 1. What will be the features in juvenile myoclonic epilepsy? It occurs upon awakening. After the child wakes up, there is a myoclonus component, that is sudden, jerky, shock like contractions, and the consciousness is present. That is normal consciousness. The child is able to recollect the events, what happened. Like he was suddenly jerking or shaking his hands, and the things fall off his hands. Right? He or she will be able to collect the events. Can have other type of seizure patterns like generalized, it can be GTCS also, and absent seizures also. There are certain precipitating factors for juvenile myoclonic epilepsy, that is sleep deprivation and alcohol consumption. And for diagnosis, there will be 4 to 6 Hz poly spike and wave pattern, and treatment is again with the sodium valproate. So the two conditions that we read, absent seizures and this juvenile myoclonic epilepsy, both has the treatment sodium valproate. Now coming to epilepsy syndromes. There are certain syndromes. Let's discuss them. These are severe conditions with the brain abnormalities predisposing to low IQ and the developmental delay, and posing difficulties in treating seizures. Okay. So in epilepsy syndrome, what happens? The child will be predisposed to low IQ and there will be developmental delay, and epilepsy syndromes are usually harder to treat. First one we are going to read about is the West syndrome, that is infantile spasm. Its onset is seen in infancy. Its types are, it can be idiopathic or symptomatic. Let's first read about the idiopathic or cryptogenic type. There is previously normal child, and tend to has a better outcome. In the symptomatic one, associated brain disorder or worse outcome. This is seen in the symptomatic one. Okay. So what are the features of West syndrome? There is a spasm, sudden sustained contraction of the muscle. There is a jackknife seizure, repeated flexion of neck, or salam spells. Like there is repeated flexion of neck. Okay. This is seen in West syndrome. There will be spasm, there will be jackknife seizure, and there will be repeated flexion of neck. There is a triad which is seen in West syndrome. First is onset is in less than 1 year of age, characterized by infantile spasm. There will be low IQ or developmental delay. In EEG, what will be seen? There will be hips arrhythmia, high voltage multifocal spikes in a chaotic background. Okay. and its treatment is injection ACTH and vigabatrin. And this is the first treatment that we saw, ACTH, injection ACTH, which is the first line in West syndrome, and vigabatrin in infantile spasm is associated with the tuberous sclerosis. Then vigabatrin is the drug of choice. Okay, so first syndrome we read is West syndrome. Moving ahead to Dravet syndrome, very severe form of epilepsy. Onset is in the infancy, first year of age. Also called as the severe myoclonic epilepsy in infancy, associated with a genetic defect of SCN1A defect, that is alpha 1 subunit of the sodium channel. What will be the clinical features? In Dravet syndrome, febrile seizures starts at less than 1 year of age. There will be focal or it can be focal or unilateral and clonic type. What happens is seizure develop even at the low grade of fever. We saw, right, for febrile seizure the fever should be around 101 degree Fahrenheit or more, but in this syndrome the fever develops at low grade, and later a febrile seizure occurs second year onwards, and there will be multiple seizure patterns later on, and finally leading to developmental delay. It will be difficult to treat. Sodium valproate is not satisfactory, so stiripentol is used, which is effective. Fine. We saw about the second syndrome, that was Dravet syndrome, which started off as a febrile seizure, later continued to afebrile seizure, and then finally through developmental delay and multiple seizure patterns. Next that we are going to read about is the Lennox-Gastaut syndrome. Onset is in the 2 to 10 years of age. There will be developmental delay, there will be multiple refractory seizure, and EEG there will be 1.5 to 2.5 Hz spike and wave pattern, and drug of choice is again sodium valproate. Now coming to the status epilepticus, prolonged duration more than 30 minutes. This is the definition for us to call a seizure or a seizure episode an epilepticus, status epilepticus, that is more than 30 minutes. There are two time frames which are used. If a seizure is lasting for more than 5 minutes, then it is called as the impending status epilepticus. That particular episode is moving towards or going towards being the status epilepticus if it is lasting for more than 5 minutes, and indicates the time after which the use of anti-epileptics is required to control the seizure. That is, after 5 minutes of a seizure, we have to give drugs. Second timeline is lasting for 30 minutes or more, known as the established seizure, status epilepticus. There is high risk of developing neurological sequelae if a seizure is lasting for 30 minutes or more. So, what is the management for status epilepticus? In the first 5 minutes, no need of anti-epileptics. Fine. Then we have to establish or secure the airway, breathing if the SpO2 is less than 92%, provide oxygen, circulation, head turned to one side to avoid the aspiration, establish the IV axis and assess for the hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia will be considered if the blood sugar is less than 54 mg per dl. If hypoglycemia is present, then we have to give 5 ml per kg of 10% dextrose bolus. Fine, this was all done before 5 minutes. After first 5 minutes till 20 minutes. This is the first timeline we are going to read about. That is, the seizure has already continued for 5 minutes, and what will be done up till the next 20 minutes. Okay. First line, as we already read, was benzodiazepines. IV benzodiazepines are started, either lorazepam or midazolam, at the dose of 0.1 mg per kg per dose. This is very important to remember. 0.1 mg per kg per dose, midazolam or lorazepam. Assess for 5 minutes. If not ceasing, then we can repeat the dose of this benzodiazepine. And if the seizure is still persisting, then the second drug that we are going to give is IV phenytoin or fosphenytoin. A fosphenytoin is preferred because of lesser side effects, and it is given as a infusion over 20 minutes. At the dose of 20 mg per kg, fosphenytoin over 20 minutes. Okay. Now this is the second timeline that we are going to read. Is up till 20 minutes we gave this IV phenytoin, and if the seizure is still persisting after 20 minutes, one second, then we have to give move to IV sodium valproate or levetiracetam. We usually prefer levetiracetam because it is a comparatively safer drug. It is given in the dose of 20 mg per kg. It is also given in a certain dilution over 10 to 20 minutes. So again 20 minutes happen after 40 minutes of the onset. The seizure is lasting for about 40 minutes, right? Then we have to move to phenobarbital. Phenobarbital again at the dose of 20 mg per kg as a IV infusion. And now even after giving phenobarbital, that is after 40 minutes of seizure, we give phenobarbital. If the seizure is still persisting, then we call it refractory status epilepticus. Okay, so how to define refractory status epilepticus? If the seizure is persisting after the above three medication, which three medication we gave? First we gave the benzodiazepines, right? First we gave it the benzodiazepines, then we gave this phenytoin, then we gave this levetiracetam, and then we gave this phenobarbital. It's four medication. But okay. So even after giving these above medication, if the seizure is not subsiding, then we call it refractory status epilepticus. Then we have to give a barbiturate coma is induced with the continuous infusion of either midazolam, thiopentone, or phenobarbital. Any one, any one of these, we have to start continuous infusion. If the seizure still persists, it is called as the super refractory status epilepticus, and the final treatment, if it is not subsiding even after giving a continuous infusion, we are supposed to give the ketamine infusion or the IV immunoglobulin. Ketamine is a anesthetic drug. Fine. So this was all about this chapter, epilepsy, seizure disorder and epilepsy in children. Let's read, let's revise it in the fastest manner possible, what we read in this whole video. Firstly, we defined the seizure. It was abnormal paroxysmal electrical discharge from the neurons. Okay. And it is detected by the EEG. Epilepsy, we have to define if it's a recurrent seizure, two or more episodes, 24 hours apart, then we call it recurrent seizures. Or epilepsy, most common cause in the neonates is HIE. Most common cause in older children is febrile seizure. Most common type in neonates is subtle. Most common type in the older children is GTCS. Now first we talk about febrile seizures. Age group 6 months to 6 years, fever more than 100 and 101 degree Fahrenheit, without any CNS infection, electrolyte or metabolic abnormalities, and no afebrile seizures or trauma. Simple, it is divided, febrile seizure is divided into simple or complex type. Simple when there is GTCS lasting for less than 15 minutes and does not reoccur within 24 hours. Complex febrile seizure, if it is a focal seizure lasting for more than 15 minutes and it recurs within 24 hours, then we call it complex febrile seizure. We saw about the other ones also, but not very significant. Moving ahead, investigations. Investigations are needed only in the complex or the febrile status epilepticus. CBC, blood sugar, calcium, serum electrolytes, especially the sodium, urine analysis, only if less than 18 months and focus of the infection is not known, MRI within 72 hours, EEG within 1 week, and lumbar puncture if meningitis is suspected. Okay, these are the investigations that we are supposed to do. Moving ahead. Okay, lumbar puncture in our children less than 12 months who are unvaccinated for the streptococcus pneumonia and Haemophilus influenza, and more than 12 months with pre-treatment with the antibiotics. Fine. Moving ahead, for the treatment of febrile seizure, we have to control the fever, for which we gave paracetamol. For controlling the seizure, we gave IV benzodiazepines if seizure lasting for more than 5 minutes, lorazepam and midazolam in the dose of 0.1 mg per kg per dose. Now for prophylaxis, intermittent prophylaxis, and there is something called continuous prophylaxis. Intermittent prophylaxis is done if there is recurrent seizure, that is 3 or more episodes in 6 months and 4 or more episodes in 1 year, there is parental anxiety and residence is far from the medical facility, then we have to give this intermittent prophylaxis. And in intermittent prophylaxis, we are going to give oral clobazam in the dose of 1 mg per kg for the first 3 days of fever. In continuous prophylaxis, sodium valproate is used, and continuous prophylaxis is uh, continued till 2 years of seizure-free period before stopping the medication, and it is indicated in febrile status epilepticus, continuous complex febrile seizures, febrile seizure with a neurodevelopmental delay, and febrile seizure plus or GEFS. Absent seizures, absent also called as the petit mal seizures, age in more than 5 years, usually 5 to 8 years, there are vacant stares, unresponsive, eye flutter, and about 10 seconds. Precipitating factors as hyperventilation, stress, and emotional problem. Okay, and the treatment is mainly sodium valproate. There was something called as the atypical absence seizure with the myoclonic component. Now coming to the juvenile myoclonic epilepsy, also called as the JAN syndrome. Typical age group affected is the adolescent, and mostly continues into adulthood also. There are certain genes associated with it, and on features, uh, juvenile myoclonic epilepsy is something in which the child is able to recollect the events. It occurs upon awakening. There is a myoclonus component. There is sudden jerky shock-like contractions, normal consciousness, and it can have other seizure patterns also, like generalized GTCS and atypical seizures also. Precipitating factors are mainly sleep deprivation and alcohol consumption, and the treatment is again sodium valproate. There will be 4 to 6 hertz polyspike wave pattern that we should remember. Right? How will we remember? It is also known as the JAN syndrome, right? JANZ. 4. 4 to 6 we can remember like that. Now coming to the epilepsy syndrome. When we suspect any epilepsy syndrome, when there are seizures associated with low IQ, developmental delay, and it is difficult to treat. Seizures are difficult to treat. Now, first one is the West syndrome, which occurs in the infancy. There is idiopathic cryptogenic, previously normal child and symptomatic associated with any brain disorder. In West syndrome or the infantile spasm, there is spasm, sustained contraction of the muscle, there are jackknife seizures, and there is repeated flexion of the neck or salam spells. Like the child is bending forward. Uh, it appears like the child is doing salam. Its onset is in less than 1 year of age and characterized by infantile spasm, low IQ, developmental delay, and on EEG there will be hypsarrhythmia seen. For treatment, ACTH is the first line of drug, and vigabatrin can be used. And vigabatrin is the first line if the child also has tuberous sclerosis. Now coming to the Dravet syndrome, very severe form of epilepsy, also called as the severe myoclonic epilepsy in infancy. There is certain genetic defect associated with it, that is SCN1A defect. And clinical features, it has a very typical pattern that it starts as a febrile seizure, starts at less than 1 year of age. Fine. What is the pattern? It's febrile seizure occur in low grade fever also. Then later it develops to afebrile seizure. Second year onwards, there will be multiple seizure pattern, and ultimately there will be developmental delay. This Dravet syndrome is difficult to treat, and sodium valproate does not give satisfactory results. Steripental is effective. Now let's read about the Lennox-Gastaut syndrome. 2 to 10 years of age, there will be developmental delay. There will be multiple refractory seizure, and the EEG there will be 1.5 to 2.5 hertz spike, and sodium valproate is the treatment of choice. Now coming to the status epilepticus, when we define more than 30 minutes, we have to give start treatment if it is more than 5 minutes. Seizure is lasting for more than 5 minutes, and then it is termed as impending status epilepticus. And when it is called as the established status epilepticus if it is lasting for 30 minutes or more. Management, within first 5 minutes we don't have to give any drugs. We just have to secure the airway, see the breathing. SpO2, if it is decreasing into less than 92%, then we have to provide oxygen. Turn the head to one side to avoid aspiration. Establish the IV axis. Assess the hypoglycemia. Blood sugar should be less than 54 mg per dl. Hypoglycemia present, if hypoglycemia present that is less than 54, then we have to give 5 ml per kg of 10 ml dextrose. Then after first 5 minutes, if the seizure is still persisting, then we have to start with the first drug, that is benzodiazepines. Either lorazepam or midazolam can be given in the dose of 1 mg per kg per dose. We can repeat the dose after 5 minutes if the seizure is still persisting. Then the second drug that we can use is IV phenytoin or IV fosphenytoin in the dose of 20 mg per kg. All these doses you can remember like this. It is all after this benzodiazepines. All the drugs that we are going to use is given at the dose of same 20 mg per kg. See, again fosphenytoin 20 mg per kg. This levetiracetam or sodium valproate again 20 mg per kg. Then phenobarbital again 20 mg per kg. And after giving all these drugs, then it is called as the refractory status epilepticus, then in which we have to start with the continuous infusion with either midazolam, thiopentone, or phenobarbital. And if still persists, then it's called suprarefractory seizure, for which ketamine infusion or IV immunoglobulins are used. Thank you.